It's on.
Okay, good afternoon, class. Today we're going to be talking about word choice and using descriptive words in your papers. So, why do you think it's important to have descriptive words and to use word choice that's more descriptive?
To make your writing more vivid.
Yes.
Makes the reader want to read.
And
Yeah.
you want to maintain their attention. You don't want to be falling asleep halfway through the first stanza.
Yeah, that's really good. That's awesome. So you can use descriptions for everything pretty much. And in poetry, it's used a lot. A lot of descriptive words about pretty much everything they talk about. So we're going to read some poems right now. And do you guys want to read them out loud?
Okay.
Awesome.
I read the first one.
Okay.
Okay. Daffodils. Oh, I love this one. By Williams Wordsworth. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er valleys and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling leaves in glee. A poet could not but be but gay. In such a jousted company, I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils.
Okay, so in that poem, there's a lot of descriptive words and a lot of phrases. So why don't we just go through and we'll look at a couple of them. So on the first stanza, it says fluttering and dancing in the breeze. So that way of describing the daffodils is very descriptive. Instead of just saying they're swaying or something, he says they're fluttering and dancing. So that's very descriptive. So can you guys come up with anything else that's in the poem?
Just pick out something else.
Yeah.
That's descriptive?
Yeah, anything.
They continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way.
Mm-hmm.
He's comparing the daffodils to the stars in the sky. Instead of, they were really bright in the sunlight, and they twinkled like the stars in the Milky Way.
Mm-hmm. So that's something that you wouldn't really think about because you compare daffodils mostly to the sun because it's already yellow, you know. So comparing to the stars is really cool, and describing it is like twinkling on the Milky Way. It's really a good descriptive.
There's tossing their heads in sprightly dance.
Mm-hmm.
You don't usually see a flower dancing like a sprite.
Yeah, that line is really good because tossing their heads, even giving them heads to toss is
Right.
really descriptive. And then in sprightly dance, it just shows you how kind of upbeat it was and stuff. Okay, so since we did the first one, oh, you're fine. Okay, so we're gonna read another one, and we're gonna do the same thing. So, do you want to read?
I will.
Okay.
She walks in beauty like the night, by Lord Byron. She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes, thus mellowed to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies. One shade the more of one ray the less had half impaired the nameless grace, which waves in every raven tress, or softly lightens o'er her face. Where thoughts serenely sweet express how pure, how dear their dwelling place, and on that cheek and o'er that brow, so soft, so calm, yet eloquent, the smiles that win, the tints that glow, but tell of days and goodness spent. A mind at peace with all below, a heart whose love is innocent.
Okay, so looking at that one, what kind of descriptive words or phrases does she use? Or he use?
Would cloudless climes and starry skies?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah.
gaudy day denies?
Yeah, because he doesn't just say the night. He goes on to describe it of cloudless climes and starry skies. So that's really good.
And when he says, and all that is best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes. So you can tell, he's not telling you she has dark glowing eyes. He's, giving you a comparison of everything that's dark and bright are in her eyes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's really
he's showing,
good.
not telling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's really good. And then in the second stanza, he goes to describe her more. So saying waves in every raven tress. It's like describing her hair. So that's very descriptive. He doesn't just say she had dark hair.
Mm-hmm.
He says raven tress and waves. So that's a very good descriptive word for that. So now that we've done this, we're going to make up a story, and we're just going to use descriptive words that you think would be good. And maybe use the descriptive words that we talked about from these poems. So we'll just start out, and we'll just make this story. It can be, okay, why don't we'll make it about both the poems, so make it about a girl that got flowers from a guy. So you can describe like the girls and use the way he describes the daffodils in the first one. So you can do that.
Are we writing it out loud together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought I'd make sure before I started writing stuff down. Can it be from the boy's point of view?
Oh, yeah.
Like how he pictures her getting her flowers?
Yeah, that would be really
That
good.
one sound good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you like that? Okay.
Yeah.
We could say something about her smile being warm or warming him all over
Okay.
as he enters the room.
That doesn't look big enough. Okay. Okay, so why don't we describe like how he walks in? So like if he's going to give her flowers, he's probably a little bit nervous. So do you want to say as he nervously walks in the room or something like that?
As he stumbles
Mhm.
nervously.
As he
Stumbles,
into the room.
yeah, that's really good.
Steps on his cat's tail. No.
Okay. So now do you want to go on to describe her or describe the flowers?
You could talk about behind his back. And
Yeah, that's
flowers.
good.
Flowers are hidden
Okay.
behind his back.
Okay, so how do you want to describe the flowers? What kind of descriptive words do you want to use?
If we have lilies.
Yeah.
Sure.
I like lilies.
Okay, so we'll put behind his back. And then just be like he hid
Or
what?
behind the mountain of his back.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
What is add that in there?
That's probably kind of hard to read. Sorry. What?